peace. It's Jay. I'm gonna make this really quick because the last video I made, I realized now I wanted to go a little bit more in depth. Um, when I was talking about ancestral healing and healing becoming more of who you are, more of a lifestyle. Um, and also realizing that once you get into the space of understanding that a lot of the healing that you're dealing with isn't necessarily yours, it makes it easier to work it. It makes it easier to deal with it. It makes it easier to manage. It makes it easier to shed because a lot of us are in a shedding season as we begin to step out into newness as we get closer to springtime. Um, so why am I now in this space of talking about ancestral healing? For those of you that know from the lives, I have been bringing to the forefront of inner child healing, inner teen healing, and wound healing and body integration of the healing. Um, Even then, we have to be careful that we're not just doing surface level healing, right? Why am I saying that? Because your healing is not just for you. Your healing has never been just for you, just like you healing your lineage is just as much about your present as it is your future. Because at the end of the day, we are either breaking the generational curse or we're becoming it. I know we like to toe the line and play it safe in our healing, but it creates situations where trauma doesn't fade, it transfers. And a lot of you don't understand that if you don't heal it, your children will have it. Your children will have it. For ourselves, this is how it shows up in ourselves. Check this out. A lot of our inner voices sound like bad parenting, or it came from the messed up things that was said to us from maybe our parents, or maybe a relative, or maybe a friend, or maybe classmates when you were younger, and these things stuck with you, right? A lot of our inner critics sound just like those people. So if your inner critic is sounding like that, more than likely it's going to reflect in your outer world. You may not even feel it automatically, but ask yourself, why do you need these particular things from yourself? Why do you need Why do you need these dodgy things said to you in your own head in order for you to feel now it's time to do something about it, or now that this is too much? It's overwhelming. It's angry. It's working with my shadow personally. I realized I didn't need to talk like that to myself in order for me to get that something is off. A lot of times we get so caught up in the day to day and the mundane that we forget about spiritual accountability too. So let's take into account of how we talk to ourselves, because that's ultimately the voice that's speaking to our inner child. And if your inner child has been through it enough, if you as a child have been through the ringer, just trying to survive, why would you put that into your own mind? Why would you allow that to reflect in the world outside of you? That's a cycle. That's a part of your personal history, which is why you need to heal it. Because if your inner child can feel it, the children around you can feel it. The history of you is also the history of the world around you. Which side of history do you want to be on? Something to think about. Until next time, much love to each of you. Joy, love, and healing. They're yours. They're a choice. Decide today that it's worth for you to have. And also, if you want to work with me to dive deeper into these things for yourself, feel free to message me. I have no problem. Or if you see me on Live with Rob, pop in and ask some questions about these things that I'm talking about. I have no problem with you questioning them. I have no problem with you asking me questions. I think it's important. So, meet me in your heart space, and I'll meet you in mine. Until next time, or until the academy. Peace.